Alright, I suppose I had to start bitching, right? Yeah, well, I'm gonna. Um, First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to my YouTube. Uh, God, my lips are fucking gross right now. They're dry, but I can't get the layer of skin that's on top of it off. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever had to deal with that when the weather changes. I don't have a whole lot of issues with it most of the year, but when it gets cold, especially, it gets bad. Um, let's see. Notifications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14. 14 of my messages here are all, let's see, this one says chat dash adult 18 online. This one says chat elegant girls online. This one says beautiful girls here online. This one says my hot mom online. This one says awesome dash teens 24 online. That's not as big and major a thing as my telephone, though. Let's see if I can remember where I put the damn thing. What do we got going on here? Somebody I don't know sent me a message. Cool. Alright, that's not what I'm after. Isn't that lovely, right? Yep. So we've got here is restricted, restricted, Brandon, restricted, 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 restricted. I mean, seriously, it's just a whole fucking shit ton of restricted bullshit. That's most of my telephone calls. Restricted, 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 restricted. When it comes to getting railroaded in court, it's because cops wanted to believe that this stuff just doesn't happen to men. Men just have to man up. Meanwhile, this ain't even close to the biggest issues I got to deal with. I got to deal with the financial situation that I've ended up in because of it. I have to deal with the physical abilities that I no longer have as a result of this. There's a lady named Star, and I was supposed to call her back. I told her I'd call her back in 10 minutes. Unfortunately, my computer did not like that idea. And pretty much all these folks say the same thing when they're at a distance. Sean, I would help you if I was there. Well, that's cool. Lots of people said that. Lots and lots and lots of people said that. You can help. You can speak out about this kind of treatment. I mean, the worst part here isn't even that all this shit happened to me. If it was just me, Well, shit, I'd be fine with fucking putting a bullet in my own head. I might be anyway, I don't know. But all these people who wanted to tell me that people were doing these horrible things to them over Natalie's death, these people who promised to help me. You know, if that's not the story that they told the police, it's not the story they should have told me. If they didn't go to the police with that story, they shouldn't have told me that story. But each one of these people, each one of them used the same fucking trick, the same excuses as my predators. Well, he's mentally ill. No, I'm pissed off because you fucking lied out your ass. I'm pissed off because you gave no fucking shits about another human being's life after you pretended to fucking care about me. Candace Bondurant is the worst friend I've ever had. When it made a difference, she went out of her way to sabotage my ability to fucking defend myself. See, that's the thing. When you're called mentally ill or you're homeless, there's no such thing as innocent until proven guilty. I was harmed because I didn't have help. I had empty fucking words and empty fucking promises. And all these people, it's all selfish. All of their reasons are selfish. And that's what sucks the most. Like, holy shit. You're selfish as fuck. Why was I ever friends with you? Oh, yeah, because somebody like me, who's not pretty, who's not popular, who's not the big, huge dude who can block a punt, yeah, I don't matter to your society. Is that true? No, it's fucking not. Absolutely, I matter to your society. You need someone to fucking pick on to feel better about being shat on. If you didn't have anybody to shit on, you'd go after the motherfuckers responsible instead. And that's one of the reasons that I push so hard for legalized assisted suicide. People say, why don't you do it yourself? I shouldn't have to. I really shouldn't have to. Matter of fact, in my personal opinion, I should be put to death, and Alicia Bollinger should be the one to fucking pull the trigger. If you're just gonna torture somebody for their entire life and tell them that they don't have the rights and shouldn't be allowed the rights because of a fucking label, but then you're gonna tell them that they need to jump through all these hoops as if they have those rights. Jumping through those hoops hasn't gotten me a goddamn bit of actual fucking help. It's wasted my time, it's wasted my resources, and it has resulted in a very fucked up situation where literally my predators are still continuing to do these things. Natalie Bollinger's predators are continuing to do these things. You'd have thought that after assaulting me and America gave him a free fucking walk that Lolatai would have stopped fucking hurting people. But he didn't. You'd think after America and the cops and the fucking media gave Clearview a free fucking ride that they would knock their fucking shit off. But they didn't. Now what's this free fucking ride I'm talking about? The term mentally ill. What did it take for them to actually investigate Clearview? They didn't listen to a single one of the patients, and they never do. It only mattered and only made a difference when other people came forward. Peaches, you fucking cunt. Candace, you fucking cunt. Brandon, you fucking cunt. It's not that I don't love you, it's that after 3 goddamn years, Holy shit, it's obvious you don't love me. You put it in her hand and you said, if you loved me. And she wanted to be loved so much. God damn. God fucking damn. A lot of people seem to think that I just want somebody to talk to. Just somebody to talk to. Shit, I'd like somebody to fucking hang out with in real life. I don't just need someone to talk to. I need positivity in my fucking life. How much positivity do you think I've had? How positive do you think Brett Roloff's was? How positive do you think listening to Joshua Eichelberger was? How positive do you think listening to Shannon Alvarado getting all drunk and screaming at her fucking boyfriend Rick McCormick? How positive do you think that fucking was for me? How easy is it for you to get something done with people fucking streaming? Meanwhile, none of these people kept their words to look through evidence. Not one. People just wanted to assume. And that's what I'm dealing with. The government plays on your fucking assumptions. They use the media to sell you your opinions. You don't have any fucking opinions of your own. Meanwhile, my predators have shown they don't give a shit about the law. They never did. You wanted to sell a fucked up narrative, not giving a shit about the innocent fucking lives that you destroyed by doing so. And then I got to deal with my personal predators, predators that I got rid of and out of my fucking life. There's a reason Miss Jerry was not a part of my life after Virginia. There is a reason that my dad was not a part of my life after Virginia. There is a reason that Natalie and Alicia and Maddie were not a part of my life after Virginia. There is a reason that Lana Engeline and Amanda Engeline were not a part of my life after Virginia. I got them out of my life for a reason. You do not get to victimize me and then play fucking victim. Not fucking happening. And then you want me to just shut up about it? Every goddamn predator on the planet wants that. See, that's why all of you are predators and I'm not. I am the only one fighting to show the truth. Anytime an adult asks you to keep a secret, they're doing something wrong. No matter what, they are doing something wrong. Now, we teach this to kids. If an adult is asking you to keep a secret, they're doing something wrong. Well, that's the same thing when you're a fucking adult, dumbass. Meanwhile, people want to say, oh, you're not allowed to get angry, Sean. You're not allowed to get angry. You just need to man up. I am so fucking sick of hearing that. That's why boys shoot themselves in the goddamn heads. That is why boys start committing suicide at 5 times the rate of girls at the age of 15. You don't give a fuck. You will make every excuse for a junkie female as long as she is pretty. When a homeless man is victimized, you victimize him further. You tell him he wanted it, needed it, chose it, or deserved it. Here in the United States, we talk about how great our fucking judicial system is. What judicial system? The child molesters are out on the fucking streets, and the prisons are full of innocent people. The dude who fucked your daughter is still in your fucking house. Jesus goddamn Christ. Like, Amy Witcher, how fucking sick do you have to be to have sex with a man who fucks your daughter? How fucking mental do you have to be to allow that man back into your house? You sick fuck. I was raised in a family of predators. How true is that? It's not very true. It is true that my family are a bunch of goddamn predators, but they didn't raise me. I was raised in the system. You guys want to pretend like I don't know what the fuck is going on around me, like I'm some sort of fucking retard because of a goddamn label. That same goddamn label that every fucking predator in my life uses to get away with it. Brandon's got 25 cars. That's great. He's got 25 cars. He's got some other women's that he's gonna fucking jump through a bunch of hoops for a whole goddamn week for. He still hasn't come forward with the fucking truth. Still hasn't written it down. Still has not made any fucking attempts for any sort of legal action. But again, it's women. Women are more important than we are. Women matter more than we are. Or more than we do. We don't fucking matter. We don't matter. Good men don't matter. Bad men matter. Oh, hell yes. That daddy who raped you. When it comes between an innocent man being victimized for the rest of his life, or you telling the fucking truth, you're not going to fucking tell the truth. Now, if you guys notice, with all the fucking slander that Natalie fucking typed about me, out of all of that, not once did she type that I was raping or molesting her. Not fucking once. Nathan Davies typed, "Hey, Sean, I hope you're well and your back is feeling better." No, my back isn't feeling better. My back is never feeling better. I'm not well. I don't have help. 4 goddamn years of speaking up, and fuck. I get pretty words on Facebook and pretty words on YouTube. I also get threats on Facebook and YouTube. So fuck it. It's not like you guys are gonna fucking speak up. It's not like you're gonna fucking say a goddamn thing. It's not like you're gonna put any actual effort into helping. See, all these people who want to throw it in my face that they gave me some money, like King of Nickels wanted to throw it in my face that she sent me some money so that I could go see my therapist right before Natalie died. She's like, "Well, I sent you money." It doesn't matter that you sent me money. I admitted you sent me money. I tried to use the money you sent me to send it to Natalie so she can get somewhere fucking safe. Matter of fact, when I started doing that, Natalie was still fucking alive. She wasn't killed till the 29th. When you're called mentally ill, there is a bunch of shit you're not allowed to do. It doesn't matter that the law says otherwise. I've already been informed on many, many occasions that what these officers did was illegal by people who are like, "Oh, well, the cops wouldn't do that. It's illegal." Holy fucking shit. Although I do blame BLM for everything now. All of this is BLM's fault. Every fucking bit of it. Selling a narrative that only black folks can be victimized. Or black folks can't be racist. Or anything that happens to a black person is because white people are racist. Well, this shit happens to white people too, asshole. What's your fucking excuse now? Over half of those killed by cops last year were called disabled. Almost half of those killed by cops last year were homeless. The two groups that you are claiming to be because you're black. Meanwhile, when you've got a black person who is mentally ill or a black person who's homeless, you might give a shit about the mentally ill person if their family gives a fuck, but you don't give a fuck about the homeless. That's for goddamn sure. Now, we got about 60 million Americans who are disabled. That's roughly the same number of black people that we have. There's about 60 million black people in America. Do the numbers for the black people come anywhere near half of the killings? No, they don't. Now, let's take a look at the homeless population. We're trying to pretend that it's less than 500,000 people nationwide, which anybody who knows how to fucking count realizes it's higher than that. I want to find out something here, so we're going to type it in. What percent of those killed by police in 2019 were black? Velociraptor. All right. This is a little bit different one. This one says a total of 864, and 192 of them were African American. Okay. But this one right below it says 259 black people were killed by police in the United States, compared to 182 Hispanics, 13 Native Americans, and 406 white. It goes further than that, but well, should we go with the conservative numbers or should we go with the big numbers? It really doesn't matter. The percentages are about the same. But in the interest of, we'll go by the newest one because it was posted 5 days ago. It's www.statista.com society demographics. Let's see. Right. Now it says that black people disproportionately compared to white people. Well, if that's the only numbers that you want to look at, fact is most of those killed by police who were black were disabled or homeless. Most of those who were white were either disabled or homeless. And it's looking to me like this thing wants to have me download a bunch of shit and cookie consent bullshit. Now, if we're gonna say let's just put these numbers together. 259 plus 406 would be 675, 775, around 800. So, depending on which one of these that you look at, this one up top says 864, and 192 of them were native or were black, and this one says around 800 and 259 of them are black. We'll give black folks the extra numbers. We'll say the 259 out of 800 were black. You're still well below the halfway mark by a lot. Now, disproportionately compared to whites, yes, but if that's the only thing that you're going to look at, you're missing how many people are victimized over so many other things. Black people are picked to be victimized because they're easy to victimize. They're easy to get away with. Not as easy as if you're to go after a disabled person or a homeless person, or God forbid, somebody who's both. But also, if you happen to be both of those, in addition to being black, you're even more fucked, and even I will admit that. Let's see. We'll go with, what was it, 860 something, right? Uh, 259. 259 divided by, click over this thing so I can see. We'll go with 259 because that's the big number. We're giving black folks the benefit of the doubt. We'll say that 259 were killed, not 160 something. Let's see. 864. All right. Looks like about 29%. Now, you might want to look at that, given the fact that 60% or 60 million Americans, that's about how many black people there are. 60 million Americans, and 29% of those killed by police last year were black. Now we want to figure out the numbers for the homeless. All right, well, here's one about Thomas Kelly. Um, let's see, this one is just Los Angeles. It says 42 people were killed last year by police just in Los Angeles that were homeless. Now, oddly, we are not finding any actual numbers for the homeless on this. How odd is that? Oh, and it's looking like their numbers have dropped quite a bit. It says right here. Oh, that's LAPD. That's just LAPD. Holy fuck. $427. I don't think that's right. I don't. We'll do the numbers. Four 427 is fuck it. It's 420 something. That'd be 49. Well, that's close. I guess 427 is right. 427 people who were homeless last year killed by police. That's almost 50%. Keep in mind that a portion of those people are black. Now let's look at the percentage of the population that they account for, because we're talking about 60 million people, and let's see, did I wipe that off already? Yeah, I fucking typed over it. God damn it. All right, so let's see, 60 million divided by 350 million is, I guess that says it's around about 17% of the population. So I guess around 17% of the population is black. I thought it was 12. I do apologize. But now let's look at the homeless. We're looking at 450,000. We're looking at less than 1% of the population. Way less than 1% of the population. It's 0.001285711429. So we're talking about 17% of the population accounts for a little over 250 of those killed by the police last year. And less than 1/3 of 1% of the population accounts for over 400 of those deaths. The most disgusting part is being told by the other victims that we can't be victims. To be told by Black Lives Matter that we deserve it. All of those hateful things that BLM says, hey, this is how white people treat us. But then we got BLM members treating the homeless and the disabled that way. I fight for your rights, and I do, regardless of your color. But I'm not going to sell a fucking false narrative that's going to get other people fucking killed. I'm not going to sell a false narrative that makes it so that the other victims fall by the wayside. I am not going to tell the other victims that they have to go to the back of the goddamn bus because they're the wrong color. I'm not going to listen to a bunch of racist assholes tell me that I'm a racist asshole for saying you're lying. The most marginalized people in America, no, homie. That'd be the homeless. While in Boulder County, black people are victimized by the system at 5 times the rate of white people. The homeless are victimized at 346 to 1 over their housed counterparts. Why is that? because the homeless are easy to victimize. There is a big difference between someone being pissed off and having someone they can victimize right fucking there, or somebody being victimized and going, all right, well, the person I'm pissed off at lives in that house. You gonna go up to that house and do something? No, you're not. You don't know if they're there alone. You don't know if they're there at all. You don't know if they have company. You don't know if they have a fucking shotgun. You don't know if they're gonna answer the door with a shotgun. But you see a homeless person eating a fucking sandwich and you're good to go, ain't you? Goddamn, I'm tired of women. I'm tired of men. I'm tired of whites. I'm tired of blacks. Let's all go take it out on the homeless. God bless America. Most marginalized, huh? Take a look around you. People are listening to black folks. They want to believe you, even when they know that you're lying out your fucking teeth. They're willing to go along with it. I'm not. A lot of people wanted me to pick their side. Fuck you. I'm on our side. Our rights. We, the people. But then again, I don't fit the narrative, do I? I ain't the right color to fit that narrative. And although it's the narrative that's bullshit, it's me that's suffering. It's me who's been through years of fucking hell and empty fucking promises. Me. You treat me like I'm a terrible animal, like I drove Natalie to fucking suicide. Hell no. Her and her family and her goddamn druggy friends pushed me to that fucking point. I will get Alicia Bollinger in court. You goddamn right I will. And if not, at least I'll die fucking trying. Nathan Davies typed, is there any way I can help? I'm from the UK, so I'm restricted with what I can do, but I'm open to suggestions. I've been telling people your story and linking your channel, so hopefully they pass it on. I hope they do. You know what I just noticed? It's 4:09. That means in about an hour I'll be able to go get a coffee. One of the women who was going to help me right when Natalie disappeared, her name was Adara, and she was dating a guy that goes by Crow. They got a kid together. And she was going to help me, but then she ended up in some fucked up situations because Crow was beating on her. She had a kid with him. She was going to come help. She got harassed by the cops, got caught up in the system, like a lot of people. It's like everybody who was going to try to help me was targeted by the fucking cops. So then there's this whole point about the laws that I've been telling you about, how the laws don't protect you. They don't. A protection order is just a piece of paper. You know, as hard as I've fought to get those pieces of paper there and in court, you know, there's certain stuff that, well, they want me to find my predator's address. I got to go find that shit. I have to do all of that fucking work. After 4 years of doing all of this fucking work. 4 years of people telling me, you need to go to the cops. And I went to the cops, dumbass. 4 years saying, people saying, you need to call the Adult Protective Services. I've called Adult Protective Services over 100 times. You say, well, they have to. It's their job. That's what their website says. I know what their website says. I also have it recorded, them telling me that's not their job. I have the FBI recorded as telling me that the things that are on their website are not their job. Same thing with Adult Protective Services. It says so on their website. They get government funding paid for by you, the taxpayers. The reason that it's up on their website that they're doing that's their job, is because that's the specific reason they're getting government funding. That government funding is for the job that they post up on their webpage that they do. But the reality of the situation is that's just free money, because they're not going to do their goddamn jobs. They just want the money. At no point in time was it appropriate for me to have to do it the way that I've done it. But also, you look at how they've used the laws, rules, and regulations completely out of context, like I told you they would. One guy, I was trying to explain to him about the fucking camping ban in Boulder, how you're not allowed to use a blanket. If you use a blanket, you're camping in city limits, and you get a camping ticket. 20 hours of community service, about $200 all said and done after court costs and the fucking fine they give you. That's for one night with a blanket. One night. One. You guys got all these great ideas like, why don't you just go to the homeless shelter? Well, let's see, there's 4,000 homeless people, about 4,000 homeless people in Boulder County. There's 122 beds, and like 70 of them are taken up by transitional housing. So, yeah, your fucking idea is shit. Speaking up is a good start. You could try to get a hold of the media over there in the UK. You know, right from the very start, it was mostly British folks who gave a shit. It's mostly British folks. Maybe it's Sherlock Holmes, right? Maybe it's a fantasy character is the reason you guys are like that. Maybe it's James Bond. I don't know. I know that here in America, they ain't like that. Here in the United States, it's who's the easiest to victimize? Thank you. Thank you very much. You can help me by spreading the word. That's about the most effective at this point. They railroaded me at every fucking occasion that they could. They manipulated their positions and abused my disabilities in order to get away with it. The problem is that you take a look at Ted Bollinger, this man continues to use meth. This man continues to have firearms despite the fact that he's not allowed. The difference between Ted and I is that Ted isn't allowed to have firearms because he's a bad man. I'm not allowed to own firearms because I told on bad men. Ted isn't allowed to own a firearm because he couldn't keep his hands or his dick off of his kids. But guess what? The law doesn't stop him from getting one. Not at all. The law isn't going to stop me from getting one. I mean, there are plenty of people in town that if I was willing to lie to them and say, oh, yeah, I'll go kill your uncle, yeah, they'd give me a fucking gun immediately. Am I going to go kill their fucking sicko uncle? No. Fuck no. But the thing is, for me, trying to follow the law when my predators aren't, and trying to go to the law when they'll only listen to my predators. The police went out of their way to put me in an unsafe situation. When Officer Michael Beard harassed Candace Bondurant, who paid the consequences? That's right, I did. Nathan Davies typed, it would be my honor to spread the word. I will see who I can contact in the media with your story. I really want to believe you'll get justice and the complete truth will come out. I hope so. I mean, I've showed so much on here, this stuff, just the conversations on here between me and witnesses and the conversations on here between me and cops is enough to get several cops arrested pretty much immediately if people care. But it's also enough to get me a retrial in every one of my court dates. The fact is that none of this should have been allowed to happen, but it was allowed to happen. I tried everything that I could, the legal route, before I ever broke the law. And I broke the law. I admit that. I had to. The cops kept on telling me that these things weren't illegal, that they can't do anything about it. It's not against the law. All they can do is listen. Really? When I threatened those son of a bitches back, it sure as fuck was against the law then, wasn't it? That's the point. It's not illegal to do it to me. It's only illegal if I do it back. And many of these predators keep trying to play on that. You did this, and you did that, and you said this, and you said that. Like, yeah, you're goddamn right I did. And I fucking admitted to it as well. You know why? Because I'm not a bitch. I'm not a fake fucking Christian. I'm not. I'm not using Jesus as an excuse for the fucked up shit that I do. Saving lives is the reason I do the fucked up shit that I do. Now, I would love to go back to saving the lives the way that I used to. I would love to pass out blankets to my loved ones so that I knew they weren't going to fucking freeze to death. I would love to do that. But ain't no justice unless we fight for it. And it's unfortunate that the UK cares more about the United States Constitution than the United States population. Zero point 0.0012%. That's not a very large percentage. Yeah, 1/3 of the population in the United States, or sorry, 1/3 of 1% of the population accounts for 49% of police killings. 49%. please, please stop being racist assholes. I get that you feel bad. I get that you're going through hell. I get that you want things to be better for you. I get that you want somebody to give you the freedom that you think that all of us have. But take a look around you, all right? Seriously. With all of this fucking racial tension, black people, white people, all going after homeless people. They didn't care the color of the homeless people. When those kids threw that artillery shell on that homeless man, they didn't give a fuck that he was black. That's right. Them black kids tried to blow up a black person as part of a fucking protest. Are you out of your fucking mind? But do we see that coming up every fucking day? Do we have that pounded into our face over the media every fucking day? No, the hell we don't. We're not allowed to point out the crimes that black people commit against us because then we're racist. Oh, hold on a second. The disabled and the homeless, motherfucker. If you want to claim that you are more marginalized than the homeless, then you're a fucking liar. Not only that, I'm tired of people saying that I need to drop my stuff because I'm white. We're focused on black people right now. I have to go to the back of the goddamn bus. With all due respect, we have given a lot of time and a lot of space to causes that are not our own, hoping that eventually we will get our turn to be treated like people. Why the fuck are we fighting for a bunch of black people who don't fucking care about us? I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't matter if black people care about us or not. They are still people. You take out the word black, they're still people. Now, I could easily try to pretend that it's just black people doing this, but the fact is, it's not. It's not just black people doing this. It's also not just white people. It's not just Native Americans. You go, oh, well, the homeless are actually victimized at a much, much higher rate than we are. But we're going to pretend that we are the ones victimized at the highest rate, and we're going to pretend that the homeless don't exist. Well, there's a fucking strategy that'll work. Let's see if we can implement that into action back at you. If I were to pretend that black people don't exist, you wouldn't fucking like me much, would you? Fuck no, you wouldn't. Unless you're a racist piece of shit, which I'm sure a few of you are. When I point this stuff out, it's not out of a hatred for black people. It's not out of a hatred for women. It's about a hatred for being victimized. It's also a hatred of other people pretending and taking away from the real victims. If you're going to tell me that I'm not allowed to speak because I'm not black, that we're focused on black people's stuff right now, that I just need to let it go. I 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 need to let it go. Oh, did I mention I need to let it go? Now, are you guys running around telling black people that they need to let it go? Why would you? Why would you? I don't think they need to let it go. I have a 346 to 1 ratio or 346 to 1 chance of being incarcerated over a housed person. Now, by comparison, if I was to use the argument that many people want to use, like the argument about rape here in the United States, things are worse elsewhere. If you were in Africa, they would have friggin' chopped you up and put you in some burning tires. So you shouldn't complain, right? How fucked up is that way of thinking? If I apply that way of thinking to my situation, I'm the bad guy, aren't I? Nathan Davies typed, I have to leave to get to work, but I will finish this stream this evening. I want you to know you are truly an inspiration to me. If I can be half the man you are, I'd be proud. Hang in there, Sean. I'm pretty short, dude. I'm pretty sure even if you had dwarfism, you'd still be more than half the man I am. People seem to be under this impression that if I just pretend none of this existed, that I can march into some magic fucking fairy tale land with fucking goddamn unicorns and Pegasus, and my own fucking barn full of whatever. The reality of the situation is that I don't have the ability to take care of myself. I don't have the credit to take care of myself. I don't have the financial stability to take care of myself, and I don't have any help. I can't take care of myself. I've been explaining that since before I went to Virginia in 2016. When I could no longer take care of myself, when I could no longer jump through all these people's hoops and help them at their every beck and call. And I did. Every time somebody called for help, I showed up. It didn't matter if it was Brandon or Natalie or Miss Jerry or Lana or fucking you asked for my help. I showed up. Desiree needed my help. I fucking showed up. Bobby needed my fucking help. I didn't show up. I just did as he asked. He wasn't asking me to go see him. He was asking me to try to help find fucking Alicia for the third goddamn time. All three times Alicia disappeared. You know who told me about it? Bobby Forrest. Of course, his conversation is here on my YouTube channel as well. See, I didn't just talk about this shit. I recorded the conversations for a fucking reason. You guys got to listen to a few conversations with Brandon Ratner. Does he sound like a piece of shit? Does he sound at all like a terrible excuse for a human being? No, he doesn't. He's not a terrible excuse for a human being. He's not. Of course, him not coming forward, just like everybody else who didn't come forward, is the reason that I got railroaded in court. It's the reason that I had to spend an entire year before Natalie fucking died trying to get help. Brandon was one of those very same people telling me how to think, telling me how to feel. You know, I'd like to see Brandon and just be able to hang out. Shit, if he does show up, I might go down to the sheriff's department and ask them if they'll go out shooting with me. I like shooting, sort of. Brandon likes shooting. Cops got guns, they gotta like shooting, don't they? I say, hey, you guys bring out your firearms and I'll bring out my BB gun. We'll see if I can outshoot you at 50 paces. Not as in shooting at each other, of course. I'm talking about shooting at targets. What's target? Well, it's not just a grocery store. We'll see if I have any targets handy. I don't use silhouettes. Those of you who go shooting, you know what a silhouette is. A silhouette is the outline of a human being. Usually. A silhouette is for people who fantasize about killing people. When they got their AR-15 or M16 or their 30-06, they bought it thinking to themselves in their head that they're going to kill themselves from terrorists or some crazy fucking shit like that. But this is it. This is the target. This is for zeroing in. I'm pretty sure that with that airsoft BB rifle being as... That's what it looks like when it's been shot up. It's not very accurate, nor should it be. The BBs are round. But also, I probably shouldn't do this in here. But they're not real bullets. I want you to hear how this thing sounds. Now, there's a whole bunch of different companies now that are trying to make ultra-realistic looking, airsoft rifles and BB rifles, and they have airsoft wars with these things and whatnot. And, they're pretty expensive. I didn't get one of the super expensive ones. If I'd have gotten the Tokyo Marui, they're about $900 to $1,200. But then there's also Israel makes one that's probably the best one. Looking at it, the only thing that looks different from a real M16 is the bolt has a hole through it, and the magazine it's literally the same magazine that I got. See, it's for BBs. It's heavy because it's got a two CO2 cartridges in it. And also, this is cast metal right here. So that cast metal is also pretty heavy. Now, of course, it's not a real one. However, all right, what's something I can shoot it into? I got it! Voila! Eureka! Right here. This is what is known as a jerry can. This is a German invention, and all right, let me tip it over so all the mouse turds fall off. Instead, I knocked over my heater. Well done, Sean. That's right, I just referred to myself in the third person. Do we need to bitch, whine, moan, and complain about that, or pretend that I'm hallucinating? We could do that. All right. So I'll unscrew the top here. Oh, wow, that really smells like mouse piss. Of course, the dirt that's on top of it is dry, but it's also covered in mouse piss. So, why the hell won't it come off of there? All right, there it goes. All right. Now, this will probably be extra loud. Where did I put the mag? God, that smells like concentrated fucking mouse piss. Oh, dear God. Oh, bless her heart. Oh. All right, I got some of the stink out. So now we're looking for the magazine. All right. Charge the handle. And then we will change it over to full auto. Yeah, pretty loud, isn't it? It's supposed to have a recoil. It's supposed to simulate a real firearm or some shit like that. I've fired a real M4. I've fired real. Well, I've never fired an M16. I've fired the AR-15. That's about as close as I've ever gotten. However, this thing is a lot of fun. It is not accurate. I figured for the price that it was originally that it would be, but at least it works. But that would also allow me to show the police in person that, you know, it's not a real firearm. It's not something that they have to be afraid of. Oh, damn. Well, that ain't supposed to happen. This is what's called the flash hider. And they're supposed to be painted bright orange. Now, they have special rules and regulations with BB guns so that you can get away with it. And it's all dependent on the import laws. For most of these, though, they have to have the bright orange flash hider. This one right here, it's a simulated flash hider, of course. It's made of plastic, but it's not bright orange like it should be. I mean, it's plastic, you know. It sounds like plastic. And I thought the barrel might be plastic too. Oh, it is. It is. It looks like it's got a cast hot metal exterior and a plastic sleeve insert. So take my flashlight and direct about that all the way. Yep. Plastic sleeve insert, and then it looks like it's got a aluminum channel down the center. So it's just like uh, any other BB gun. I'm gonna see if I can take the flash hider off of this one and exchange it, because really, nope, not gonna happen. That is permanently affixed, or rather, not permanently affixed. It's attached in here, and I would have to take out a few screws and pull that apart, and then I could pull this off. But I guess the moral of the story is that I'll have to order a plastic tip for it. Now it is pretty cool. It's got a flashy light on it, which is all right, you know. Blue light, and then it's of course got the laser sight on it and shit like that. That was the bolt hold open. That's on the left hand side of the receiver. When I pressed that, it allowed the bolt to go forward, which the reason that it was held back is because I took out the magazine. It's supposed to simulate a real rifle as much as possible. This one's actually not my favorite one, though. Not even close. My favorite one out of my collection is the bright red one. Now, this one's a little bit different. This one is based off the 308 caliber, which is not the same caliber that the M16 fires. The M16 fires the 5.56 by 45 millimeter NATO standard ammunition. The 308 was supposed to be the round that we were going to adopt. So the Armalite company made the AR-10, and the AR-15 is actually based off of the AR-10. Basically, it was a scaled down version. The reason they scaled it down is because the U.S. military, after all of the stuff that they went through to try to make sure that the rest of our allies after World War II were going to adopt the 30-06 or something as powerful. As soon as the British got rid of their weapons programs and the French got rid of their weapons programs, went, all right, we'll get rid of our small calibers and be on board with you American folks. And America went, well, actually, I think we're going to go to something smaller. God bless America, right? Problem is that no matter what, because of the tag mentally ill, my predators will always be able to do whatever they want to me and get away with it. The only thing that can really be done to stop that is for someone in person to give a shit and to have the chance to fight these bastards in court. A lot of people are mad at me because I didn't do things the right and legal way. Well, with all due respect, I actually did. I did things the right way. I did things the legal way. I was ignored. The violence didn't stop. The abuse didn't stop. And I'll be goddamned if I'm going to just let my friends die and say nothing. Are you fucking crazy? Crystal Khan, her daughter was killed by her ex. She's got another daughter who got railroaded in the system recently because why? Because the man who killed his own daughter is friends with fucking everyone. He's friends with the DA. He's friends with, and also he's got a history like Ted Bollinger, just so you know. Being a fucking perverted fucking chimo with his own goddamn kids. Holy hell. Anyway, I suppose I should show you the jerry can. This is what the jerry can looks like. No holes in it. I was wondering why them BBs weren't flying around. They're all stuck in a fucking sludge at the bottom of this thing. It doesn't smell like gasoline and it doesn't smell like oil. Now I'm curious. I want to know what's inside of it. All right. I know there's a flashlight on here somewhere. Voila. Actually, I guess that is oil. I can see the BBs in there. They're all covered in blackness. Obviously, I'll have to get everything in there out before I ever use it for a gas can, but the reason I got it is because it's a jerry can. There's a lot of stuff that I design and use and utilize that I actually designed after the jerry can. Not as in I went, all right, I'm going to make it look like a jerry can, but as in I went, you know, it'd be nice to have something that was multifunction. Why would I put a tiny ass door on something that's just a door? When I designed my own version of the Kettenkrad, instead of making it so that I had to crawl over it, because I can't, my disabilities prevent it. Oh, we froze up, didn't we? We certainly did. Oh, there it goes again. Anyway, y'all be safe, I guess. When somebody else is going through hell, it's nice for you to ignore them. Tell yourself that your problems are worse than theirs, that whatever excuse you want to make. It's nice that you can do that. But I want you to keep in mind that when you needed help, Did you lose everything or did somebody help you? If somebody else doesn't have that help, does that make them a bad person? Well, it is not looking like, oh, it's reverse threaded. That is so weird. Well, it's back on. And it's going back on my wall. Brandon likes shooting more than I do by quite a bit. He ain't so much into the killing though anymore. He used to do the hunting thing, and he went hunting this year. He didn't get anything himself, but I guess he was gonna help his uncles and stuff dress a deer and things like that, which is that's cool, you know. But for him, it's when he was growing up, it was this is how you get in harmony with nature, and this is how you bond with your family and that kind of stuff. And then, you know, as you get older, you realize it's a lot of fucking work to go out there just for tradition. You know, it's when you think about how much you're spending per pound, when you figure you gotta pay for the ammo, you gotta spend the time and effort and the gas to go out to wherever it is that you're hunting, and you gotta get the permits. And then you gotta go back so that you can dress your game if you're like Brandon and you hunt here in Nebraska but live in Colorado. You know, I think he'd like going out plinking with me. I'm a pretty good shot, and I've gone out shooting with Brandon before. You could ask him, am I unsafe with a firearm? You could ask him if I pointed at anybody. Of course, by it, I'm not sure if that gives the right impression because Brandon owns more than one firearm. Most of the people I know own more than one firearm. For me, I have fixed a few people's guns this year, and I told every one of them I wasn't gonna do it. I told him, no, I don't want to touch your fucking gun. I'm not allowed to own a gun myself. If I get busted fixing your fucking gun, I'm in a shit ton of trouble. But then there was a situation where I wasn't able to get my money out, and I was fucking waiting on it, and I picked up some. I was like, you know what? They're not going to give me my money. I can't afford to live right now. I need to get some food. So I help people fix their shit. Now, between fixing your fucking gun and you sending it into the fucking factory, next time you send it to the fucking factory. Yeah, I said that. If I'm going to tell you that what you want me to do could get me into a lot of trouble, the least you can do is say fucking thank you. The one guy, he's like, you know, I just need a parts kit. I just need a parts kit. I'm like, well, then fucking order one. I don't need you to fix anything, Sean. I just need your help with the which part do I get? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. If you bring the firearm to me, I tear it down, I look inside, I look at what's fucked up. You can do the same thing. There are YouTube tutorials for you to get on there so you can fix your own fucking gun. And yes, I get that that voids the warranty. But you know what? It voids the warranty if I work on it too, dude. A lot of these folks, like, and I don't know how Nebraskans are able to do this so fucking effectively, but they go out bird hunting with their shotguns, and then they throw their shotgun down in the dirt to go grab their game. And what happens? They get grass in the action, they get mud in the action, and then they're done hunting. They go home, they clean the fucking game, but then they put their fucking shotgun away wet. Holy fuck. then that stuff is stuck in there. And you got nice springs that are in there, you know. These are nice, good, decent springs that are in there. But after you put them in there with caked on mud for over a year, they rust through, and now they're caked in a brick of dirt. It doesn't stay muddy all year long. It eventually dries out. That stuff is hard as a fucking rock. And if your spring hasn't been rusted through already, trying to get that fucking rock out of the goddamn action is still likely to break something. And people just don't seem to understand that. I tell them, hey, I don't want to do that. That's going to get me in trouble. Like Miss Peaches keeping on having the idea that I should just flee the state, not try to go to any court dates, just flee the state and go live with peace in Florida. No, that's going to make things worse, Miss Peaches. That's not going to help me. Kind of like people coming up to me and saying, hey, man, will you fix my gun? I don't want to. I don't want to. That means I don't want to. When I say I don't want to, what I do mean is that I don't want to. So why did I fix these people's stuff, despite the fact that I told them no through all of their hounding? It's because I needed the fucking money. All these guys knew last year that their fucking shotgun wasn't going to work. They knew it last year. They could have taken it to Cabela's. Cabela's has a full-time staff. They have gunsmiths at Cabela's. If you got a problem with the Remington that you bought at Cabela's because you got a bunch of dirt and grass in the action, take it to Cabela's. It's under warranty. A lot of these people, I tried to explain to them, hey, if I do what you want, I'm going to get in more trouble. I will get into more trouble if I do what you want. And at this point, I'm pissed off because you're not going to help me, but you're expecting me to help you. One of them assholes tried to tell me, well, you know, fucking, you harassed that girl, because I told him I wouldn't fix his fucking gun. Like, you harassed that girl, I'm like, dude, seriously, knock it off, all right? This is the fourth, fifth time that he had come to me about it. And the reason that he was going off about that some girl is because I said, hey, stop harassing me about it. I'm not going to do it. And by the way, out of all the people who brought their firearms to me this year to get them repaired, he's the only one that did not get his repaired. I didn't make any profit off of working on them because really, when you look at the amount of time that I had to spend on it, and then there's the fact that I had to fucking order the parts. And then when I order the parts, dude's like, all right, well, fucking $20, $20. I'm like, dude, yeah, there's an extra $20 on top of that. That extra $20 is shipping and fucking handling, dude. I like shooting. I do, to some degree. But I don't need to shoot at a living fucking target. I don't have to shoot at a silhouette and pretend like it's the fucking Taliban. Matter of fact, shooting that thing into this barrel wasn't nearly as much fun as taking the flash hider off of it. And I didn't even do that on purpose. It's just loose, so I took it the rest of the way off. My favorite one is the red one. It's pump action. You know, I only get one fucking bullet for every pump. Sorry, not bullet. Fucking, they fire this Nerf shit. I'll show you what it looks like. They fire these. This one right here, I believe, has a CO2 cartridge in it, and it doesn't sound like it popped like the other ones did. So I might be able to pop around out of this thing. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Got to pull back the action before you put in the clip. All right. Put it forward. Did I break that already? I did. I fucking did. All right. Much better. See if I can hit the handle on that. And that was actually a lot more fun than a real gun. There's no cops coming here to hurt me. And I know for a fact that none of these penetrated. None of the ricochets came back and harmed me. And even if I did get a ricochet come off of that wall and fucking smack me, it's made of foam. It's foam. It bends in half. I could probably, if these were just a little bit longer, I might be able to tie it in a knot. Between something like this here and something like that there that looks ultra realistic, I would rather not chance getting shot. So, bright orange, bright orange. And this is, of course, bright fucking green. This is an Umarex Rec. I am not obviously bringing up the names of any actual firearms companies. The reason for that is because I'm kind of weirded out. A couple of my videos were taken off YouTube here for reasons that are not explained. It's 4:58. I think I'm going to let you guys go. I really wish Americans were as involved as Europeans. It's a shame that Americans don't care as much about the Constitution as y'all Brits do. Let's see. On the bright side, the restricted calls, cops won't do anything about it, but fuck it. The sex site spam, the cops aren't going to do anything about it, but fuck it. The internet bullying, the cops don't give a shit about, but fuck it. They don't care what the law has to say either, so really, what fucking use are they? What's that thing my dad used to say? They're useless as tits on a boar. By the way, a boar is a male pig. And we don't actually call them tits here. We call them teats. Teets. Same word if you're a cow.